Silver screen breakdown. Give me money.
Oh, whoa. Hey, check this out, guys. Check this out. La 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 la. That track is tight, man.
Oh, you like that one?
That's you.
That one was kind of tight. You know what's funny is that's one of those 2020 joints. You have to pee? Oh shit! I gotta take my little man to the potty real quick. Don't pee on yourself now.
All right.
Yeah, man. Alex, good work on the new intro. Love it.
Yeah. What up, peeps? Silver Screen Breakdowns after a week hiatus. We are back.
You're right. We don't deal with no copyright issues. Come on, we got our own stuff.
Hell yeah, man. The League Season 2. I love this show. Throw it in the chat if you were a fan of the League when it was out. I know Nelson, it is new for him. Bogey, he didn't see this when it was out. He saw it out. He saw it now. Man, this is awesome, though. Love this season in particular. Mainly, it's the first episode and the last episode. What up, Crispy? Crispy in the house. We got a meal in the house.
Why can't I find our stream? Come on.
Marty in the house. Silver Screen Breakdowns. Silver Screen Breakdowns. I'll throw the
live.
I'll throw the link in there for you. So we're on.
I'm just trying to get it on my phone. We're on my phone.
We're on the Silver Screen Breakdowns channel, and we are on the Fantasy Football Funk channel. So we're not live streaming right now on the 420 Hustler Network, but everything.
Okay, maybe that's why I'm having trouble.
Everything will be there in uploaded form, though. Yeah, but the Fantasy Football Funk.
Thank you, Alex.
If you don't follow us there, go follow us there. We'll be live streaming there a lot. And then the Silver Screen Breakdowns. We did it. We crossed 100 subscribers.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Hey, we're gonna start a new thing. Come on, bring it in. Give me some screen dabs.
There we go.
Get some screen dabs going all around.
I missed that. Yeah.
Hey, okay, we got to get the screen dabs back. You know what
I
mean? You feel me? Okay.
Do the right thing.
Power to the people. Okay, but yeah, it's kind of dope because I went crazy in 2020, initially when they shut us down. I went in there and knocked out 40 joints before they actually closed our building. It was crazy because our studio is it's on the second floor of a building, and on the bottom is all restaurants, and then on the top floor it's dentist offices and all that. That's where our studio's at. So we can't even slap out till after 7:00 p.m. But point being is I went in there and just knocked out a gang of joints, all original shit, you know what I mean? Just knocking shit out. And that was one of those ones I was like, I'm gonna keep this one. You know what I mean? Yeah, because sometimes it could be a thing. This happens all the time. It's a sick ass beat. My boy made it for me. But say if someone wanted it and wanted to buy it, but yeah. And then I'll go and because I didn't use it for anything technically, even though I did, but I was like, hearing it on the intro, I was like, oh shit, bruh.
Alex showing the love here in production, man.
Yeah, well, because you know what it is too.
Format.
He's specifically targeting all original stuff because I'm a big sample guy. I like to sample things, you know what I'm saying? I like things that I like, making them my own, but also, stickler for all original shit as well. So it's kind of cool. I was like, I got an original bag. You know what I mean? All original.
Hell yeah.
That's sweet, man. Yeah, it's tight, man. Good job. Congrats on that channel.
Yeah. Hey, I know I'm privy to this information. Can we share this you are?
No. So we won't even talk about that.
Yeah,
should have been all right before. He gave us.
I was with Alex before off air.
Okay, good. But see how I didn't make sure I didn't.
Yeah. So when we close tonight, I'll tell you.
All right.
Yeah.
And we're actually talking about this Reese's Pieces deal we're trying to land.
Yes, exactly.
I spoiled it. Reese's, give me money.
And there'll be more info after the strike and all that if you guys pick up what we're throwing down.
Nah, I can tell them about the Reese's Pieces.
What up, Zach? Hey, Zach in the house. What up?
Hey, Zach.
All right, let's jump into the League Season 2. All right. I want to hear Bogey's little intro on episode 1. And not intro, but I want first thoughts on Rafi because everybody in his life apparently told him that he was Rafi from the League. Let me set up episode 1. So Andre is the champion now. And as his champion, he says that we should just do it real big. And Pete just comes in and vultures. Let's do it real big, guys. Let's do a Vegas draft. And he was like, hey, that was my idea. And he was like, it's my idea, but we'll let you run with it. So I already ran with it. I booked everything and paid for everybody to get out there. Must be nice. And
so who's stealing the credit?
Pete.
Hey, that's funny because that's totally something I would do. I told y'all it's about to go down. Oh yeah, you mean the shit I'm planning?
It's right as he's saying it. Right as he's about to say Vegas draft. Like it's like the words are about to come out of his mouth. Pete swoops in there. You know what, guys? Let's do it big. Vegas draft. He's like, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Beat him to the punch.
Yeah, and then they just start messing with us. Yeah, you can run with it. Go ahead. It's our idea. You can run with these. I ran with it. I already paid for it. I already booked everything. No, Andre gets no credit.
Yeah, sorry.
So they head to Vegas. They're staying at, where are they staying? I don't even remember what. I think they're staying at the MGM is where they're staying, and they need an extra.
MGM tends to be the cheaper one to book too. Like in a lot of those shows, it'd be like MGM or like Luxor, during that era. You know what I mean? Because all the Bellagio and stuff like that, those are all in the big movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're more expensive. I was across the street 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
during the thing, I was across the street from the MGM.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was right there.
I like going in the MGM and looking at the animals. I've always done that since I was a kid. Do they still got the animals there? Because I'm pretty sure
never saw the animals, but
no idea.
Oh yeah, because I'm like in the day and age of PETA, they might not like that they had like lions and fucking penguins in that motherfucker. And the penguins were tight too, because you can see them. They're like, there's like a little slide thing, and they're going in. This looks like their environment. Like the Antarctic, you can see them underwater swimming and shit. Shit was tight.
Ooh, the fear boner. Ooh, the fear boner. That Joe, that's one of those ones. Definitely it gets brought up in here.
Yeah, I can't wait till we get to the Little Dick song. She was fucking hilarious.
Those episodes were very phallic, by the way.
Yeah, they were
very phallic episodes.
More phallic, the better for me, because I feel like that's the tin, and that was what they turned up from season 1 to the season 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did, definitely.
Yeah.
Exactly. You said a new movie, The Fantasy Crashers. That'd be hilarious. Yeah.
Just show up to other people's draft parties,
start crashing the drafts.
Hey, bro, you should definitely take CMC right here, bro. CMC's already took. I'm telling you, it's a good pick.
So Nelson, I know you don't know too much about fantasy football necessarily outside of what you probably learned from us.
Hardly anything. Exactly.
One of the things that they always do in this show is they come up with creative ways to choose their order.
Yep.
And so this one, very unrealistic, but
I mean, they are white.
Yeah, that is one thing for sure.
You just run through that terminal. It's okay. They're white.
What'd you think about that? I know that wouldn't fly in real life, but what'd you think about the creativeness behind that? When they
you have to refresh me, because I watched those 13 episodes. I power watched them on Wednesday.
Where they have to run, where they run through the security line.
Yeah.
Whoever's like first is like first pick and all that.
Yeah. Okay, I was watching that. I remember that. I was thinking, because I worked for the airline, major airline for 12 years. I was thinking would not fly. There's no way that would fly there. Well, what they did. And then Buddy Boy, he got in and won. The guy he
cheated.
What's his name?
Pete.
He basically cheated.
So Pete gets there and wins.
So he can get taken away. What did he do? He did something so they could take him away. And
he's like,
he dove through the security. He dove through it, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, he pushed like the lady in the wheelchair out of the way and then just jumped through.
And jumped through.
And he said, you can cavity search me all you want. All you're going to find is #1 draft pick, Chris Johnson.
CJ.
Yeah, and anybody won, though. He won. Yeah, so that was unrealistic. It was kind of it was funny to watch.
2010.
Okay. Yeah. CJ 2K was a bad motherfucker, huh?
He was the #1 draft pick that year for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Then
was that fresh? That was fresh off the 2K, right?
Yeah.
About a couple years at that point.
And so then they make it out to Vegas. They make it to the MGM. They make it up to the room and everything. And then here comes Chad Ochocinco. What'd you think of that cameo, Bogey, out of nowhere?
I thought it was awesome because, you know what I'm saying? I'm fully aware that was going to be like football players here, and I love Chad. Chad's the man, bro.
His acting, I was watching his acting. His acting was pretty good. It wasn't really good, but it wasn't bad.
He actually did like during those years, he was doing like reality TV, quote unquote reality.
Yeah.
So it is, he's actually was like what's funny about reality TV, it's not real, but it's not like super scripted at all. It's kind of more premise driven. And he definitely can rock a premise, you know what I mean? Because I would imagine a lot of this show, there is like a guideline, but there's a lot of it's improv, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
improving
assume so.
and knowing having lines are two different things, man.
Okay.
Two different things.
Yeah. So what about having a premise and you just improv on it?
Oh, you just gotta know the basic rules of improv for it to work. And the basic rules of improv is to go with whatever the idea is presented. You go with it. You don't refuse it or shut it down. So if you said,
so the homie goes,
so
bro,
if you said, hey, I went to the corner store.
Really?
No, I went to a pizza joint to love pizza. Then you say, I don't like pizza. They don't want to say that. You say, I like other places other than pizza, but that place was okay. But then you do it like that. You kind of like,
wow, is that
you accept what the person gives you and then you change it from there. But you can't really say, I don't like that because then it ends the scene unless somehow you say why you don't like it and then you piggyback off of there. But so it's very easy to say the opposite. Naturally, we want to do that because it's kind of like confrontation. You think you got a scene, but you actually kill it. Yes.
I would be terrible at improv because I'd be thinking too much of what I have to do. It should be just natural.
Bogey would say the exact opposite. He'd kill it right there. He'd try to make it harder, right?
Yeah, he exactly did. I'd be trying. Like, you know what? I mean, what's the thing about pizza anyway? You know, like circumference. I mean, 3.4. It's pi. What is it? It's math.
What up,
well, good, though, as long as you can say that, that's good. As long as you just don't completely shut it down. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
we basically have a premise for every show, and then just what we're doing right now, and we improv as we go along, right?
Yeah, we do because we're used to it. But if you think an average person that doesn't know that, they're like they freeze. They're like,
I definitely got my text when I was like, I'm gonna open up the show. My son immediately needs to take a piss. You know what I mean? And we nailed that. Yeah.
Oh man, and Ocho, he was definitely shutting some shit down because Andre, he wanted to use the child please, and he was like, "No, man, you cannot do that." And he was like, "What? I can't even say that professionally." He's like, "Dude,
you can't do that. That's not racist if a white dude says it."
Yeah, he's pretty much speaking like a black woman, isn't he?
Yeah, like an old black grandma or something.
Yeah.
It's Chad who says that. He always said "child please." That was one.
Yeah, that was one of his things. Yeah.
Oh, he did. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, I was kind of like a hat tip to him. That's why. Later, I can't remember what he said. You like these glasses? And he was like, "Child, please." And then he got all excited. Hey, you child pleased me.
Oh man, I'm excited to go further past this season because I ain't gonna lie, this season kind of dragged. But yes, let's continue.
It's super funny. And so then they go the next day, they're out there and they're gonna start the draft. The thing that sucks about this league is there's 3 people who are always on auto draft and they're never there.
It's 8 teams. Do they even exist?
8. you find one of them. I think one of them later you meet, and that's about it.
Yeah, because I always wondered that. Who the fuck are those other guys?
Yeah, just they only needed 5 or 6 people to be in their main cast, so that's why.
Yeah.
But now Ruxin, he forgets to disclose that one of the people is not even going to be participating in the league, and they get all pissed out. What? You're telling us now the draft's about to start?
Yeah.
He's like, I just found out a month ago. Asshole. And then here comes
Rafi,
the potential substitute. Rafi enters the building.
Rafi is hilarious. I love Rafi.
I love Rafi too, bro. I love and hate him because before I ever watched this show, people told me you're so Rafi from the league. I'm like, I never watched it, bro. So I just then they'll be like, yes, huh? They all laughing at my expense. I don't fucking know.
You are a little like Rafi. I'll give
yeah, but I'm definitely not fucking dudes in the ass, bro. Okay? No sodomy for men.
I'm not doing that,
bro.
He's doing a lot of things, Rafi, to be honest.
Oh, Rafi, I think Rafi thinks he's above men and women. I think he thinks he's.
Ooh, that's deep. I like that.
Yeah, like Rafi, he doesn't care. You know what I mean?
I feel that about me, man. That hit close to home.
Yeah, listen, on my own, I'm just like, it's like Prince, bro. You're Prince. You know, you're beyond me. Like you're like bigger than man and woman, even. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
You can tell those shroom things are hitting, huh? That thing smack.
his classic line, "What's up, jerks?" And of course, like nobody wants him in the league to begin with. And then like he starts shitting on everyone. He's like, "Hey, come on. You know there are girls behind this board, right? All Rafi wants to do is chase some tail."
Yeah,
that's all Rafi wants to
some
do.
vagine.
And then Jenny shows up, Kevin's wife, and she says, "Hey, heard you may need another." And so then they vote and they send Jenny and Rafi. They send Jenny and Rafi out. They have to go just hang out by the bar. And she was like, "This is so embarrassing, me sitting next to you waiting for this vote." And he's want to make out, pass the time.
Oh no, this is not a drill. This is the real thing. Flash floods.
The flash floods in Vegas. They're not playing
up there in Vegas or in Sacramento land.
No, that was actually hit. That's where he's at. That alert.
Oh, I thought it was your thing, Bogey.
Yeah, not. You know what's funny is like recently, whatever's been coming their way, and Nevada started making its way out here, and where I'm at, central wise. You know what I'm saying? Or not central, Northern Cali wise. You know what I mean? It's kind of been weird, but yeah, he's
wearing its ugly head.
I know, because we were just there 2 weeks ago in a literal hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about when I flew back to Cali. It was like to LA. It was so sunny and nice. I asked everybody about the hurricane, and they didn't have an earthquake, but I asked them about the hurricane. They said there was no hurricane. It was nothing.
They're like
nothing.
I'm like, you weren't where we were at. That motherfucker was thunder to the right, cannons to the right, cannons to the left. Yes, if you guys understand that reference, shout out to you. But you know what, Nelly? It was hella funny though, because I'll be sitting there chopping it with Nelly, just smoking. He's gonna pass that or what? Oh yeah. You know what I mean? I was like, man, this is awesome. I'm getting high with Nelly. Let's go.
Yeah, I took a few puffs.
Yeah, I had some strong though. He seemed unfazed too, but I know he was high. I mean, he's just chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what did you think about the way that Rafi was hitting on Jenny, Bogey?
I mean, Rafi fucks like fruits and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like an actual hot woman, of course, is gonna hit on her. But it's grimy. I kind of like how this is the first introduction. Like he's the guy that'll like try to fuck your wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rafi's a grime time. You know what I mean?
And even
Rafi's like he's got no what do you call it?
Moral?
He doesn't hold back on his guard. He exposes everything that he's thinking.
All gas, no break.
Yeah, whatever's on his mind, he just blurts out.
Yeah, he's like a no filter guy for sure.
That's what I'm trying to say. He's unfiltered.
And he definitely holds himself in a higher regard to these guys when it comes to fantasy. So he just shits on them. You know what I mean? He just shits on them. I'm so much better than you guys.
And even when he starts talking to Kevin later, and because I don't think he knows, he calls him tall guy eventually. Or Brian, no, he calls him Brian.
He doesn't ever know his name for real.
Yeah, he calls him Brian, and he doesn't know who anybody is. He's just so fucked up all the time is what I'm assuming. Plus, he's got a couple screws loose. You find out that later, in the seasons. He's got a lot of fucked up trauma, that turned him into the guy that he is.
Have you seen my childhood?
And so it's hilarious when he starts talking to Kevin. He was like, "Hey, who's she with?" And he was like, "That's my wife." And he was like, "Oh, really?" He was like, "How's it working out?"
Damn, what a sleazeball. I like him.
He's lovable.
Oh, man. He's such a savage. And, of course, Rafi ends up getting in the league. They choose him because they don't want Jenny in. They don't necessarily not want Jenny, but Kevin does not want her in the league. She's his helper. He would suck without her. But what Jenny does now is to get back at everybody since she's not playing. She helps Ruxin draft his team. And that is just like the biggest gut punch to everybody because everyone hates Ruxin. And the inspiration for this whole draft weekend that we did, I mean, this episode was one of them. Just Vegas drafts in general always seemed awesome. But this was one of those ones that always seemed super, super fun and knew that we had to do. And we finally did it this year. Boom. All right. And Bogey needs to hurry up and get back out here because I wanted his thoughts on the whole draft of how they did this. So they had a whole setup where they're drafting like right inside the pool. It's everything is kind of not magnetized, but little stickers that go on there that don't get fucked up in the water or anything. And then they're in the lazy river and the tubes and doing the draft. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. Here he comes. Bogey.
What's that?
What'd you think of how they were doing the draft with the waterproof, draft board and like all that?
Just for the sake of it, it's a lot of things is unnecessary for a draft. You know what I mean? But you want to fancy up this 8-team, not 18, 8-team league as much as possible.
Yeah.
And I actually think I dig the waterproof joint. Because man, there could have been some times where there was all kind of flatulence flying around. Probably could have helped my draft. Been some wild drafts, man.
And I totally forgot one part.
Ejaculants just flying around.
One part that we kind of glossed over was when they went into the strip club.
Oh,
and the stripper. She just kind of put him up on game.
And this was funny to me though, because I always point this out as that.
What up, Antonio?
They're like, what up, birthday twin? They're there like this, just chopping it at the bar. Not even at the bar, at the stage.
No, yeah, they're at the stage.
At the stage, like they acting like the hoes ain't even there and shit. And they talking fantasy. And what's slick is because when she first says something, I'm like, oh, she just working her way in to get some bread. Oh, you guys like fantasy? You know what I mean? Like strippers will say anything, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like fantasy. But she knew her shit actually. And that actually hit the arousal for them. I ain't gonna lie. and it was easy to disguise it. Oh, how much for the boom boom room? Or what did they say? The private room.
The champagne room.
The champagne room. And she was like 300. And he was like, what if you don't take your clothes off? He just want the fantasy advice. This is how pathetic these guys are. I ain't gonna lie. I think that's why I enjoy the show. Because I know there's several fantasy enthusiasts out here. They're not far from these guys, bro.
And she was on it. She was asking him, she was like, oh, what kind of league do you guys play in? What'd she say?
IDP?
Auction IDP. Yeah, and that was how
Flex.
That was how you knew that the league was at least tapped in. They said IDP back into, even though there's nothing to it, they have mentioned IDP a couple times throughout the league.
Because until when I met you guys, the only guys that I knew that really got down like that was Steamboat and them, and they walked around with their chest out in fantasy. You know what I mean? I would do IDP, bro. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, word. I do team defense. Ha ha ha! They started laughing at the kid, like, oh shit, did I say something wrong? You know what I mean? I started feeling uncool. Man, fuck you, for real. This shit's whack, bro. Like,
oh
shit.
Man.
Yeah, because then when he said
eight man fantasy football league. Man.
Oh shit.
That was hilarious. And Antonio said, you want a lap dance? No. We still got a few more rounds to go.
Damn, bro.
It was nice that he got a Ricky Williams nod right there. Who I can't remember who he said. He was like,
why take such and such when you can take Ricky in the 10th?
Yeah, why take so and so in the third?
And that was the Saban Ricky, correct?
Yeah.
The Dolphins Ricky.
Yeah, I mean it's 2010.
When did he go? That's when he went. 2010. No, yeah, okay.
No, he was there before.
He had been there. Yeah.
But this
why
was
the
2010 year?
That was one thing, but I was killing me. But it was already because 8 teams though, 8 man,
and he was already older at that point, so he wasn't going like hella high.
And but she was smart. I was like, why take this guy when you can get the same production here? I was saying that years ago. Remember when Saquon was the first year off the ACL?
Yeah.
I was like, why take Saquon when I could take David Montgomery?
Yeah.
Like, why would I take JT when I could take David Montgomery? I was wrong about the JT one, but my whole point was like, I can get 300 touches elsewhere.
There's always in the first episode of every season, there's always like something that has to do with advice before the draft or whatever. In season 1, it's the Oracle, the 10-year-old or the 9-year-old who has all the info. And it was just
I
remember him.
The approach is a lot different from the stripper compared to the Oracle, because the Oracle is just a dick. Ruxin's asking him all these questions, and he was like, wow, Larry Johnson, that's a good pick in 2005.
You little dickhead. I would have kicked him right in his little natch like that. Boom. Did your ball drop yet? Did you feel that, bitch?
So it's funny how like she's a little bit more savvy, you know. Oh, why would you do this when you can do this?
And she even said, listen, this is how I heard it. I mean, because she said a lot of players come here, they tell me things. I heard, listen, I done sucked off hella information from these motherfuckers. And I'm telling you, I got the keys.
And you know what's funny is back in 2010. So this was one of I won a championship in 2010. 2007,
okay, talk that shit.
2007 was the first one that I won. But back then, it was like people only played in 1 or 2 leagues. It's not like it is right now. Social media like changed that to where.
But also like the apps being able to where you could like just touch one button and get to the next league instead of re-signing in with different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It used to be like more difficult before the apps came. The apps are what changed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And anybody who won their league, just to them is just like a god. Like even, I mean, this is going all the way towards the end, but towards the last episode, they're like, hey, did you just refer to yourself as Martin Luther King? And he was like, did he win his league?
Close the door.
Oh, man. Hey, Chaotic in the house.
What up, Kay? Hold on.
Yeah. See, that would be Chaotic. Chaotic is like equivalent to that stripper just putting him up on game, talking shit to him. And what up, Niner? What up? What's going down? Okay. So really the end of the end of the episode is really them just like roster baiting. They go to the club, and that's where Taco, one of his new hustles is making sounds for ringtones. And man, very big in 2010. Like he was an innovator. And Andre, he starts going crazy. He starts dancing on top of the table. I got the trophy. I got the girl. And then Rafi comes up and starts raining on his parade, pretty much pushes Andre off the stage or whatever they're on. He falls on the trophy and it goes inside of him. And you hear him, it's inside me.
Oh,
and Taco's, oh my gosh, I just struck gold. Oh, man.
You know, it's hell of a precision fall. I ain't going to lie. That's a precision fall right there to get it right into the rectum. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Perfect aim. And that's where Taco starts his songs of season 2. I'm inside me.
It's a hit song, bro.
Oh man, yeah.
Have you ever looked it on Spotify? I'm pretty sure there's like a league soundtrack on there.
I'm sure there is. There's got to be, right? Because all those are like original songs that they made, right?
Yeah. And you know, that's probably how that particular person made his bread there. Hey, listen, I'm gonna compose a lot of songs. You're gonna put me in the credits. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Who's the dude? John Carpenter. He actually
did Halloween.
Yeah.
First music too.
Yeah, and he scores the music.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is I guess originally they did Halloween and then they did a test screening and people were like, it's all right. And then he goes, hold on. Rolls his sleeves up. Let me rescore this shit. And he fires the other dude and he rescores it and that it just changed everything. And they were terrified. Motherfuckers were terrified. And it is kind of crazy, right? Like I was just saying this earlier today, that fucking that sound, you know, whenever it's this is not a test or whatever, right? That sound it used to terrify me as a kid. You know, it's something sonically like when you can match visually with something, right? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. And Antonio, he said it right there. That's the best line in the song. You know where I be? I'm inside me. Oh man, savage. And so that's how it ends. Jenny helps Ruxin, and Ruxin is just roster baiting like crazy. And just very, very, very elusive start.
You know what I like about this season? I want to kind of foreshadow what we're going to go into with these two characters, particularly the married couple.
Mm-hmm.
Is like all the while she doesn't know that her man is. I mean, she understands. She thinks she does that. He's obsessed with this thing, and when she enters his world, though, and it starts to share that same obsession, and even start to like kind of like rock his little world. You know what I mean? Like, you know what pisses me off, bro? Because I actually related to that. There'll be a couple times when my girl would be like, "Hey, you tripping if you don't start Elijah Mitchell this week." What do you know, babe? And that motherfucker has a random. It's like he might get 8 touches that game because CMC was there. Because this actually happened last year. It was like a CMC. He's out. They put him out in the fourth quarter because he done enough. And they put Elijah Smith out there. He has one big breakaway run, and she looks at, I told you. You don't know anything. But she was right. And she's done this routinely. It's like she has the force. I swear to God.
She was right.
Yeah.
So episode 2. This is all about the Brolo.
Okay, here we go.
Rafi, because everybody hates Rafi. Like they come in and it's like their little, that they hang out at the pub or whatever, and it's their spot where they go drink a beer and talk shit about the week and whoever is.
Yeah, what's that spot called? That's their joint right there.
Yeah, I can't even think of what it's called.
I know what. Do they ever even say it?
Yeah, it shows it every like the exterior shot, like for a second right before, just so you kind of know where they're.
I think they did say it at one time because I'm trying to think of the name myself.
Very, one of those names, real easy to forget for sure. And so Rafi comes in there, jacks the beer from Kevin, starts drinking it, and I'm gonna murder you, I'm gonna eat your kids, and like all this. And
like they do, he went Tyson on them.
Yeah, it's Tyson, all right.
Yeah, he really did.
Eat your children.
Savage, just savage.
How do you feel, Mike? I feel exuberant.
This whole episode was about two parties. One of them was Pete, Andre, and Rafi. They all go to a party, and they only bring Rafi because he's supposed to be the designated driver. But Rafi, he drives drunk no matter what, so he doesn't care about that. And then the other party is Kevin and Jenny going to a work party, and they get to feel all fancy, get all dressed up. And then Ruxin, it's Terrific Lady Day. What he says he does once a year, where he just everything that his wife wants to do, he does it. Everything she says, it's such an amazing idea. It's terrific.
He's a pussy, pretty much.
A vagina. A vagine in French.
And this comes back more and more times throughout the year as well. It's crazy that Terrific Lady Day is during the football season, but he's got to do it. And so let's see. Thing? No, it's his made up thing.
Oh, okay.
So really the only party worth talking about is the one that Rafi and Pete and Andre go to. So first off, Andre, he's driving, but Rafi's supposed to be the designated driver, but he's drinking the entire time. And Pete's wait, you're not supposed to drink. And he's no. He's just 15 minutes before we leave. I'll go in the bathroom, crap the booze out, take a mint, good to go. And he's, does that work? And he's like, yeah, I think so.
You know what's funny is the things that people do when they're a normal lone wolf, right? A lone wolf could do wild shit because he don't gotta risk nobody else's life. Listen, this is what I do when I'm driving by myself. Take a crap, throw in a mint, turn the music up loud, punch the gas. You know what I'm saying?
I like to throw in the mint part.
Living on a prayer. He throws on that fucking Bon Jovi, huh? Punches the gas.
Bogey, what do you think about their strategy to try to get Rafi to trade when they said, hey, isn't that Matt Forte over there? And wow, he's getting really hammered.
And he went over to beat this fool's ass.
He was like, oh, he's like, thinking what I'm thinking. He's like, yeah, should we kill him?
Yeah. Wow, is that why they call me Ralphie? On a day-to-day basis, I threaten to kill people I don't know all the time.
That's funny.
You're laughing right now because you know it.
That's hilarious. So that's the real
3 people just today alone.
That's the correlation.
Kill you
between Bogey and Rafi. and then Pete's like, no, I'm just, maybe you should trade him away, because he's gonna do bad. He's like, oh, okay.
I understand it.
Much better idea. But he was like, hey, just in, can we just keep it between us of what I said, just in case he ends up dead.
You wouldn't want to kill him. He's the witness.
Rafi is a savage. And then
you love Rafi, bro. I don't even want to beat Rafi. I just want to kick it with him. That's the homie.
So they said they got to get to an internet cafe now. So they take Andre's car, and not only that,
Wow, this is 2010, huh?
he leaves with Andre's girl and says, "Hey, Blondie, want to drive a Porsche?" Those are the keys. And then Andre comes back, and he was like, "Wow, wow, you got rid of Rafi?" He's like, "Yeah, a couple casualties though." And he's like, "What? It's your girl in your car?" He's like, "What?" Andre's always getting screwed. But now,
But his girl stays true, though.
He deserves it.
As it stands.
I want to hear what Nelson thinks about this next part, though. So now, Rafi steals the car. So they don't know where to go because Andre gave Rafi the wrong number. And so they go to Ruxin's house where it's terrific lady.
Rafi gave Andre the wrong number.
No. Andre gave Rafi the wrong number on purpose.
Go with the whip.
Yeah, and because Pete, he was like, "Hey, why don't you just call him?" He's like, "I don't know his number. I gave him a fake number." And
That's right.
He was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Girls do it to me all the time." He was like, "Did you feel good when you did it to him?" And he was like, "Yeah, he really did."
That son of a bitch.
So they go over to Ruxin's house. It's terrific lady night. And Ruxin, he gets a trade offer on his computer. So to try to look at this trade, he puts the the what's it called, the eye covering over the blindfold over Sophia. And what'd you think about that whole exchange, Nelson? Do you remember that, where he's trying to make the trade? He's looking at the computer. He's still got to touch his wife and say enough just so she knows he's in the room still.
Kinda. Yeah, kind of remember. It's tough.
So
I thought it was extremely paranoid. I would have done the same thing.
So Andre and Pete come in, and Ruxin's on one side of the bed, they're on the other, and then she's, "Oh, there you are," and gets her foot and starts rubbing it right on Pete's cock, and like to make Ruxin make this trade, and they're not moving until he makes the trade.
I remember that. Yeah.
Ends up making the trade, ends up leaving, and then Rafi comes in. And one of the things that we find out about Rafi is vanilla scented candles. That's like his kryptonite.
Oh my God. Hold on, baby. Close the door. That's another thing. I can't stand not just vanilla scented candles. If someone says, "Oh, I have a cupcake candle," fuck that candle. Right? I don't want to smell. If I want a candle, it's got to smell nice. I don't want to smell like bakery. I'll just bake something. You know what I mean? I don't want to smell of vanilla or cinnamon.
So just like Rafi, does a vanilla scented candle trigger your gag reflex?
Yeah, bro. Just listen. Okay, look at this. One of my studios it was at the homie's house for years, right? It was like one of the home studios, and his wife was one of those sticklers for those candles, bro. And she would always have something burning, and even if nothing's burning, you just smell it in the house. It's disgusting, bro. Disgusting. I had to numb my nose with cups so I don't smell it.
Rafi, and I'm gonna barf. Sometimes I shit when I barf. Get out of here. They don't want him in there, but he has to lay down now to gather himself.
That's crazy though, because man, like that's a really good piece of fucking information. It's like kryptonite to Superman. You know what I mean? Like I would definitely have logged that in. I would have been carrying a fucking scented candle with me, like he carries a hot dog in his pocket. You know what I mean? I would have been just in the case, like, motherfucker, make the trade.
We're fast forwarding a lot of seasons here, but little spoiler alert. So Sophia passes away. Very, very end. We're talking
for real.
Last season. We're talking, and Rafi, he says that he is gonna take. He is. Like Sophia is a part of him now. He is Sophia, and he's there to be Ruxin's wife now. And he comes in all dressed up.
They kill her off.
He comes dressed in lingerie.
I don't know if they killed her off.
It's down the road.
It's down the road. You guys probably won't even remember by the time we watch it. It's like season 7, and he comes in lingerie to try, because now he's got a pleasure Ruxin, and he starts getting all strong with them. And Ruxin's only defense is to pull out a vanilla scented candle.
Yes.
He's like, "Ruxin, time out.
Motherfucker was in there trying to fellatiate him, bro, and fucking acting like it was his wife, bro. I would have stabbed him with that fucking candle. I would have bludgeoned him with it.
You cannot take out Rafi though. Rafi's a gangster, man. He's trained in a lot of different martial arts techniques.
I mean, shit, he'd be a bad motherfucker in some lingerie, wouldn't he? He'd toss that candle and fight me like a real man.
I didn't know Rafi was a badass as far as combat like that.
Yeah. We'll talk about it when we get to the last.
There's a lot of things about Rafi apparently we're gonna realize, and like early on, he's a real grime. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, later on, he's a real grime. Also, you just get more and more info about the backstory. That's for sure.
That's funny.
And so one of the things, they talk about Matt Forte, and then they bring up how they got Andre in the past, and they said that it was an Asian guy, and they told him it was Anquan Bolden. He's like, come on, Michelle Quan. I thought he was an Asian dude. And they got him to trade Anquan Bolden.
It's so racist.
Oh, man. So
I laughed at it because I'm okay with stuff like this. It's, it's stupid jokes.
It's raunchy comedy. That's for sure.
It's when you start getting into that other realm of racism I don't agree with.
So now we jump into episode.
I don't agree with it all, actually. You know what? Shut the pot off. I'm disgusted off the mushrooms. Actually, the mushrooms told me to continue. Let's go.
So now we get into episode 3, the White Knuckler. This one is not one that we need to spend much time on, but I thought it was real funny. Kevin's got the entire series of dummy books and even has Law for Dummies, and Ruxin makes fun of him.
I mean, he's an actual lawyer, though, for real, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Antonio said that one was consensual. That one was not.
No.
Margaret. And so big storyline behind this one is really, it's about Pete, the girl that he's dating, and that it was an ex that Kevin used to date way back in high school or something.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, she pretty much tells Pete that Kevin has a pretty cock. And then Pete is just fucked in the head after that. You remember that storyline, Nelson?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Because it's funny because it's about a man's insecurity, you know what I mean?
And then they were going they went to do bench press at the gym and stuff.
Everything.
He's right underneath his balls and shit.
He's trying to get a peek. I don't think he could
concentrate. That was hilarious.
He wanted to see how pretty the cock was for real. It was like, how pretty is this cock?
He couldn't handle it. He could handle it knowing that they'd had sex, but then he couldn't handle it knowing, that he might be second best now.
See, that's what's fucked up too, is, you know what I'm saying? What you be with, even if you're just cool with the homegirl, you can't fuck on the homegirl and expect the homegirl not to tell you everybody you're whack or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you was whack, that's all bad. You're never gonna not hear it from us. You know what I mean?
You're always not going to be number one. I mean, that shouldn't bother you. If she got someone that's better than you, then so be it. Go with him.
Here's how I always gauged women that I've fornicated with. It's the repeat offenders, the ones who come back for more. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The ones who just keep coming back. There's something to it. It's called dick whooped. It's a real thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, for sure, man.
Because you could be
the ones that you deal with. You don't deal with the ones that are not coming back,
Yeah, but here's the thing too, is the ones that we want, there's a difference between the ones that you can have and the ones that you want, right? It's a whole nother issue. We're talking about the ones that we need, right? That's a whole nother podcast. My point is the ones that that get dicked with, you could talk to them a specific way. The ones that you're wanting on, you feel me? You treating them nice and this, and I know it sounds like a dickhead, but I'm saying though, this is how what's his name? I'm getting back to the show. What's his name?
Pete.
Yeah, Pete. It's he ain't viewed her like that. He let it fuck him up. You fucking on the bitch. The homie fucked her first. You know what I mean? And apparently you're not gonna be able to dick her down, at least the way he did, because his dick is prettier. And he just couldn't get over it, bro.
It's okay to share if it's just a social thing, You can't take it seriously like that.
I mean, women, they talk, bro. That's why, you know what I'm saying? And allegedly I've been able to maneuver through a group, a friends group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because once one hears about you, they get curious and start, you know what I mean? They get scando.
One of the other underlines of this, or at least storylines of this episode, was Andre and how white he is. They always kind of mix in, you know, like how white they are and out of touch with the rest of the world and minorities in general. And
I think that's actually proper for the show because of
Yeah.
the shit they say is so fucking wild 10 years later. Like a
Yeah.
lot of that shit won't age well, but it's almost like they had a foresight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
To
so
have a built-in justification.
Yeah, so Andre, he's going to be going into, he wants to merge practices with another plastic surgeon. He happens to be black. And they're talking about diversity. And he said how he doesn't like diversity because it's like racist. Because
it is. It's like
he thinks of
let's have
everybody.
them all. How about just all of us instead of let's diversify? That
Yeah.
actually entails that white people just run everything. It's like let's diversify it. Those are splashes of color. You know what I mean?
And he couldn't explain it the way that they really meant it and the way that they said it. Yeah, we're all the same, you know, is what he was thinking. But when the guy asked him, he's like, oh, you want to diversify? He's like, no, I do not want to diversify.
So you don't?
Because it's racist.
He had him right where he wanted him, though. I ain't gonna lie.
And then, of course,
great precursor. That was a precursor to the extreme version of it nowadays.
And of course, you know, they're talking, I mean, just racism, and they're poking the joke at it. And then Andre throws an all white clothing party or whatever, but they call it just it says just, what is it? Whites only allowed or whites only or something.
Wrong.
Something like whites only. And so that everyone started seeing that. Then everybody just hates Andre. And then Taco sings his Naginta song about his big sword.
Yeah. Awesome song.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even remember the line, but the line that he said was something in Japanese. And he's like, that's made up Japanese for I'm going to go get high right now. That was one of his only lines in there. Sings this song, throws his spear, and it slashes Kevin's pretty cock. And the only thing that they can do, they need someone to stop the blood. And so they get the white knuckler to grab him by the balls. And Pete does not like it. Kevin's like laughing while he's bleeding. You can't see it. And while the white knuckler is grabbing his balls to stop, or grabbing his cock to stop the bleeding. And that's where that one all ends.
Yeah, that was a burner episode for sure.
Yeah.
Where are we at now? We're in like 4 or 5?
So this is episode 4. The Kloonberg is what they call it. And it's when Taco finds that cocaine toilet seat.
Oh, yeah, this is awesome. Here we go. Okay.
And we get introduced to Russell.
Yeah, the sex addict.
Yeah, everything triggers Russell. And
everything but vagina, apparently.
No, it's not vagina. He has sex with
her vagina.
Yeah. Do you remember that episode?
That was a good scene.
Nelson, do you remember that episode where it's Russell? He's the sex addict. And he's talking to Jenny, and he's talking about all his triggers and things like that.
He's like, see these small tomatoes right here? Ooh, ooh, little guy. Because these trigger me.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Because he's ooh, what about these strawberries? And then she tries to eat the strawberries. She's trying to like dethrone it. And he's like, no, don't do that. She feels all embarrassed. She hawks it out. She's like, oh, okay.
Because when they're talking, she was like, yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not like triggering you in any way. And he was like, oh no, you don't trigger me at all.
Didn't she go there with intentions to fuck though? Like she was like intrigued by him?
No, she just wanted to get into a league, and that was the only league that she could get into.
I was totally shrooming when I watched. I ain't gonna lie. That's how I knew this was episode 6. I watched it all one night and died just laughing. This shit was so fucking hilarious to me.
And Chaotic said, just want to hear Alex say pretty cock again. That's what they say in the whole episode. It's like a whole storyline about Kevin.
See,
Pete hates it.
Would we get censored if we woke up? If we woke up in the morning, did the morning show, and we talked about pretty cocks, but we were referring to like
roosters.
Pause.
Really, huh?
That's a new name for cock now, rooster. I'll tell you that much.
So when Jenny's talking to Russell, and he was like, I don't trigger you, and she's like, what does trigger you? He's like, how much time you got? And
this guy's a freak.
He's balloons, and she was like, oh, is it because I'm married? He's like, no, I had sex with a married woman today. And
he opens the fridge and goes nuts.
Yeah, he's like, look at these. What are these? She's like, apricot. No, they're the boobs of an alien. Or it was artichokes.
That guy's a fucking weirdo.
And it was artichokes. That's what it was. Yeah. Oh man.
And I like artichokes. Artichoke dip is fucking phenomenal. Okay.
Just such a savage. And then the whole toilet seat thing.
I don't ever think about sticking my dick in the artichoke dip. I swear to God.
Itty bitty South City, what up? He said back again for another year. Let's get it. Make sure you subscribe here.
I hope you didn't just jump in and hear me yell out I wouldn't stick my dick in the artichoke dip. I'm back.
And the Taco's addicted to sitting on his toilet seat because he found out they found out
he didn't know initially
that they were smuggling cocaine in and putting it on toilet seats.
And hold on. Highlight the fact that he's a dumpster diver.
He's a dumpster diver, so he found it in a dumpster.
Yeah, just a toilet seat. Oh, hey, I could use this toilet seat
because
his toilet to be made of pure cocaine.
Because his he did not have a toilet seat. He said so he needed one.
He was standing taking a dumper wet.
Yep. Yeah, I guess.
It was the unprecedented. He was standing forward too, but like far enough where the bowl was between his legs. Dropping them.
And so they have an intervention and they pull him over to Andre's house. Taco switches out Andre's toilet seat with his, and just so he can kind of pretend like he's getting rid of the one. And Rafi goes in there and finds it. Him and Ruxin come in. Rafi is fucked up. He's like tripping. He like knocks shit off the table and smushes lemons.
Yeah, he's loaded.
And he goes in to throw up in the bathroom, and then he just smells the toilet seat and he like scratches it a little bit.
Hey, I promise you, when it's that good, you could smell it and it makes you sweat. Like I can't describe it. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been to some of those Hollywood parties back in my day.
Oh yeah, bro?
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah. You know, Kid from Kid and Play.
Yeah, I've seen him.
I've partied with him, bro. He took us to one of those official, Calabasas.
He hangs out in Hollywood. I can't even speak. He hangs out in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Or he did back.
And he smokes weed, but he doesn't do anything else. But everything else was going on at the party. It was wow, they got that good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his name's Chris Martin, right? Not Chris Martin. Chris something.
It is Chris Martin.
Was it Chris Martin?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think you nailed it right on the head. If I had my tricycle here, I'd hit the ding.
I saw one time by the Laugh Factory. He had that thing.
Yeah, he had something to do with the Laugh Factory at one point. I think he's like a part owner or something. I might be wrong about that. I know he had something to do because
I don't know.
Those dudes, yeah, they had their hands in a lot of shit, bro. Like they were fucking awesome. Shout out to Kid and Play. Real East Coasters that came out west and kind of like, okay, I'm from the West Coast. I grew up on the West Coast, but man, a lot of mad East Coast influence from like the entertainment that I was raised on. You know what I mean? And then when I started traveling,
with he cut that thing off though, that fro.
Yeah, the
tall boy fro.
The big flat top. I forget the eraser head.
The eraser head, yeah.
Yeah.
He was back
because then it was actually a movie called Class Act.
Yeah, I heard of that.
Yeah. And it's pretty much 95% of it is on YouTube and it's sectioned out, but you can watch it in order. Fucking awesome because it takes me back to being a kid, but it's the first one where they're playing. It's outside of the house party movies. You know what I mean?
I think that this is definitely like the third or fourth time we brought up Class Act. I love it.
It's fucking awesome.
We're gonna be doing one. We're gonna be doing. See, we might do that instead of House Party, right? Yeah, instead
because it's like an obscure one.
Yeah,
yeah. There's a bazillion House Party movie reviews out there.
Yeah, and Pauly Shore makes his appearance in that one too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got flagged for playing
Pauly Shore. It's like the thing you brought him up. Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah. His son of Mitzi Shore, and what was it? His dad was like a writer and comedian, I think, or I think he was a comedy writer, I think, initially.
Yeah,
and I think
go ahead.
They actually bought the Comedy Store. They bought it from the mob, apparently.
Yeah.
Like the original, like this dates all the way back to the original owner of the Comedy Store was like Bugsy Siegel or some shit like that. And then it got passed on through the mob, and then eventually the Shores bought it. Kind of crazy.
Let's jump back into episode 4 here. So Rafi now figuring out that he's got the juice. Now he starts scratching it, doing some lines there, and then he comes out fully hyped, gets Andre's shitty picture, smashes it, runs out of there.
Hold on. And see, that was a big deal too in the episode that like they were like clowning him because of how much he had spent on that bitch. He spent 25 banditos on that motherfucker. Raquitos.
So horrible.
And he came out and fucking destroyed it in true bogey fashion. I like Rafi. I'm Rafi right there until he goes outside like a madman.
Runs outside, and Ruxin's, just because we don't like him, we should let him die out there. They go out, and then they see a car shaking, and they're like,
that
"Hey,
car's a rocking.
Is that Russell's car?" Go open the door. Oh, it's Russell and Rafi.
In there sodomizing him.
He's, "What's up, bros?" He's like, "Oh yeah, and I'm out of the league. I'm joining Russell's league. He's got a man's league, 12 teams." And then they shut the door, and then rolls down the window. Some things you can't unsee.
You can't unsee, bro. There's his lockstep. I was like, bro, I was dying so hard on the shrooms watching that shit. I was like, this motherfucker Rafi's a fool with it.
And then Jenny gets to join the league, and they have her little initiation ceremony. Super funny because she comes in with brownies, and everyone's supposed to be like hazing her. Hey, anyone want some brownies? Oh yeah, don't take any of her brownies.
All that good. See, she had it right though, because little did she know that's great fantasy karma. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And then Ruxin's like, "Kneel," and she's like, "No." And she was like, "Stand," and she's like, "No, I'm just gonna sit here." And he's like, "Fine, sit there comfortably."
Just anything. Just be alive. Be alive right here in this room. Ha ha.
So
she do that.
She does not get the hazing like Andre or anybody else did. It's funny, but now she's in the league. But she's got Rafi's team, which was so shitty. I mean, his first pick, he was like, yeah, woo, kicker.
Damn, Rafi's a drug addict.
That's how bad his.
I have to admit this. So shout out to my man A1. It was his birthday two days ago. Love you, bro. He was notorious for his lady was one of the homies like growing up, and then they ended up getting together and marrying each other. But like they're notorious for like really being competitive against each other. They both play fantasy, but she would always try to get in our league, and we would always vote against that shit because no spouses. I used to say, you better divorce her to get her in this fucking league, bro. Because we don't play that shit. And I always like that when I was watching this, I was like, that was one thing. Because then look at the wife comes in, everyone got to be nice to her. Fuck that shit.
Fuck that. Exactly.
This war, baby.
And we're going to talk about that when we do episode 5, and we're going to break that down. Act 2. Make sure you guys are following the Silver Screen Breakdowns podcast on Apple, on Spotify. Make sure you go follow on YouTube. We do the live streams on Friday nights. You can be a part of it. And Nelson, remind them where to follow you at.
And on Instagram, Nelson Tynes _ or on YouTube, you can see my videos of my film acting and commercials and whatnot, montages and demo reels.
Yeah.
Bogey, how about you? What you doing? Where you at?
I'm just slow motion in the big ocean trying to stay afloat. And speaking of staying afloat, will this league stay afloat? Tune in next time for Act 2 of Season 2, The League Review. Hey.
Yeah.